Wonderful sugar plum. Every day we look at the Bitcoin price. Every day we remember that we are still trapped in the zone and waiting to clear it. We are repeating the ghost fractal of the 2015 to 2016 Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle. Of course, we can go down and ruin everybody, but also we can perhaps go sideways, crab up, and start to price in the Bitcoin halvening, which is what everybody is waiting for. What is macro looking like right now? The arbiter of the reason why most people are still on the sidelines, which they are, most of retail is still on the sidelines, it's because of macro. There's always a theme that they will use as an excuse not to get long. This is no surprise to anybody. This chart shows you the economy data of PCE. So we're looking at inflation. So the economy spending is now less heated than 2022. You see this big plop? You see that? Property plop? It's showing you that spending, the hotness of the money rotating around and how they measure it is falling off a cliff. So what gives? Why does Jay Powell, despite seeing this data, why doesn't he say anything? And it's very obvious. It's because they need data in the economy news headlines to just show everybody. They say, hey, we won. See, they want to give you a tick here, but they want to see like this number, 3%. They want to see that number for the core inflation. They want to see it go down harder and harder and harder. Inflation is coming down. The data lags a bit. Everybody is waiting for the core data to drop further because we want the Fed to confirm it. But as we know, throughout history, when the Fed confirms it, friends, it's over. So I have a chart here. This is Bitcoin with the interest rates overlay. If you could see this, look, when they started cutting rates, you see this line here? Look, they started cutting rates here, and look what Bitcoin did. Started crashing down with the zombie virus. So it's not like cutting rates is some sort of great thing. Cutting rates is an exit liquidity trap for people, especially in the stock market, because people think, wow, finally it's getting cheaper to borrow. But no, the Fed is just going to put the rates back closer until the point where they basically crack and they have to print anyway, which is exactly how it goes every time. And here you have Mr. Stranger with 2 R's. Nope. Inflation will not come down until the recession hits the market. It is how it works. Well, the inflation data is coming down. People are spending less, and the data is fudged anyway. Don't forget, they do not use 24 months of data anymore. They chopped it off. They only use 12 months to get a faster reading on it dropping down and make them look a lot better. Do you want to know something else that's interesting? There is the overnight reverse repo. So the Fed, right, what they'll do is they go sell these treasuries and they store them in this little kitty bank. Now, it's not really a kitty bank and they're not really doing anything except moving digits on an Excel sheet, which is actually what money is, friends. Money is just a ledger. It's just your piece of paper says you got $10. My piece of paper says you also have $10. There you go. We have a ledger here. We can exchange money between each other. That's all it is. Money is just a ledger. That's why they say Bitcoin is the first triple accounting method. Not double, triple. You have consensus with the blockchain. So to know this, if we zoom in, we can overlay this with the STONK market. You can see it's going down. So when it goes down, it flows back into the markets and they pump it. You know, if you speak to a lot of the big macro guys who are like really like they believe in the institution and everything else, what they'll do is they will turn a blind eye into the fact that everything's rigged. They will never admit everything's rigged. They'll say, oh, well, no, you're looking at the data wrong. And like the money supply goes to these places. I don't believe it. I don't believe for 1 second, and you shouldn't either, that these people don't know what they're doing. Of course they know what they're doing. Do you honestly think they're moving all this money around that you can't control? You honestly think none of it flows to the stock market? Of course it does. You know how you know? China. China do it. They don't even hide it. China tell you they do it. You know, I have a Chinese friend, shout out to Montgomery. He's told me so many times, he says, in China, they inform everyone. They say everyone, they go, look, the only difference between us and America is we tell you what we're doing. We actually just tell it to you straight. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to ban short selling and then we're going to pump the stocks doing this way. The US government doesn't. The Fed doesn't. They don't say that to you. It gives you the impression of freedom. It gives you the impression that you have free will and that you can control it. But no, the middle class, we are breaking our backs just to keep everything afloat. You know the system's rigged, but we can win, man. The system is rigged for who? The system is rigged for the people who understand that you don't want to hold the poopy currency for too much longer periods of time. That's what happens. So on this chart, right, when they raise money, the markets are poop because it means they're basically storing the money out and they're taking it out of the market and they're just basically piling it up. Just as a very crude, basic way to think of it. But when this chart goes down, they're exiting their reserves. They're spending it. Think about it like this. There are some cute little correlations and patterns that happen. And recently, this is what happened. So if we zoom in right here, you can see right here. You see this little crack. We cracked lower. See that little line here? Yeah, that's them continuing to spend more. Okay, without tempering the expectations. So because the chart's going down, money's flowing back into the market. And here I am asking, to the trading gods. Hopefully, these stocks can bring some optimism back to a crypto bid. And an important lesson to think about are the people who are selling. All right, just think about what we can learn from them. What can we learn from people who are not following, for example, a weekly super trend, just following the trend, very simple. The people who are jizzing and jazzing and upping and downing, the people with hunchbacks, the people with tarnished slippers, crumpled, they are not paying attention. This is what I'm telling you. You are selling your Bitcoin and your altcoins into the hands of insiders who know and control the future. That's why they're insiders. That's why they have an edge. That's why people who sell the low get nowhere. It's because you're literally selling into people who control the narrative in 6 months from now. The liquidity event, they control it. They have whispered nothing into my ear. I'm an outsider like you. I don't know. But all I can tell you is that they control it. Whatever narrative comes, they're going to have a part in it. They know what's going on. It could be Chinese insiders. Maybe they know that Chinese government's going to print a poop load of money in the next 90 days. That's very possible. There's insiders everywhere, just to let you know. There's insiders everywhere. There's US government ones. There's China. Me and you, we're never going to be in that club because, we got human blood. We are not aliens. Me and you, we can't sniff the narrative out. We're always going to be insiders, outsiders. That's it. The government Congress, one of the potential narratives is that they will ban themselves from owning stocks, most likely into the final rally. Here I have this cute Bart Simpson picture. Do not sell to the boy. And thank you very much, friends. Thank you for liking, subscribing, pressing the bell button. Or don't forget, when it comes to this BlackBerry, just know that there might be some other confluence that comes. Up here, we already know the US Fed conveniently banned themselves from owning stocks. So they basically said to all the stocks that they had, they say, oh, golly gee, I guess we're just going to have to ban ourselves from owning stocks right at the tippity top before they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. So that's why we're keeping on our toes here, just in case there is some sort of rally. I mean, we got to be prepared, man. It might happen here. What if they ban them like around the Bitcoin halving? We're like, uh-oh. Does that mean something's going to happen? Or is there going to be one more final wave? It's just something to be aware of. And why should we be aware of it? Well, we know the stock market is the arbiter of truth for crypto. Despite what we want, despite our dreams, I wish it was not this way. Unfortunately, it is. The sentiment in the stock market is the most powerful indicator of risk on and risk off in the world. Crypto is just getting too big now. There's just too many trillions of dollars. We are all interconnected. It is no secret. We do want to stay decorrelated forever. So this chart I'm going to show you right now, back when there was no one around, it shows you. So that the candles we have is a total crypto market cap, just altcoin index, but it was the same chart as Bitcoin. And then the line here is the S&P 500. I have denoted, see this red rectangle? This is a range zone. They both range together for literally 2 years. And then when the stock market starts breaking up, Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, everything starts breaking up. Even Ethereum's birth tier starts pumping as well. I don't think it's a coincidence. How long do you want to sit through a portfolio where the S&P 500 is going down and then you realize, you know what? We are more linked than I initially thought. So that might be what's on the cards for us in the future. CVW says, my back is straight and my elbows are pointy. So thank you very much. If I could give you 5 likes for that, I would. So the S&P 500. The S&P 500 might be causing us trouble in the future. But right now, there are just too many bears. Too many people think it's going to crash. Too many people have this, and then this, and then this, and then that. Usually these things try to trap everybody. I mean, it's crazy how many trillions of dollars the S&P 500 traps before it goes one way. I can see a world where S&P 500 goes up here, and then, you know, it actually does the fake out minus 20%, which will bring it back to 4,000, make everyone worry. That's one possible card, but there's no point trying to predict the S&P 500. You'll never do it, man. It's freaking nuts. But I really want to know what you think. Do you think we're going to go sideways for much longer? Do you think we're going to start to price in that Bitcoin halvening? Do you think BlackBerry is going to scam us right now? That's also another possibility where everybody thinks they're going to be able to get a $40,000 Bitcoin, but they send it to 20. I hope that doesn't happen, but you can't trust them at all. You know their ultimate goal is to collect. They've got to do the opposite of what the crowd knows and believes. So that's why it's actually in our best interest that everybody stays on the sidelines and never gets deployed. That's the only way for us to go up. Make sure you tell mum and dad you love and appreciate them. Like, subscribe, bell button and all. I'm going to catch you in the next one.